Hello, Mr. Kenny, and good morning. How are you?
Good morning.
Nice seeing you again.
And nice to see you also.
And nice seeing you every day.
And nice to see you every day.
Except for the weekends,
Yes.
we meet almost every morning.
Yes.
All the day.
7 o'clock.
7 o'clock until 3:15.
Yes. Sadly.
Since these are our new timings this year.
Yes.
Okay. Mr. Kenny's back. Back in a way that we had earlier had 2 sessions of interviews, and we are not that satisfied with those. So we are redoing it from the beginning. Beginning means we will follow the timeline since he was born and grown up and
Yes.
everything. The school life and college life and university and his charity life. So we'll be covering almost
All
everything.
of this.
Yes.
No
So
problem.
first of all, are you English?
No.
Okay.
I come from the United Kingdom, which is made up of 4 countries, one of which is Scotland.
Okay.
That is my country.
But you don't speak Scottish, do you? Scottish English.
Yes. I do when I'm in Scotland.
Okay.
But teaching requires some kind of communication skills.
Okay.
So if I spoke the same way that I would normally speak in Scotland,
Okay.
it would be difficult.
Because I remember watching James Bond movies
Yes.
with this Sean Connery.
Yeah.
Okay. So his accent is quite different.
Yes. It's very. I think it became more Hollywood Scottish
Okay.
when he was doing.
I must
his
tell you a
Bond.
joke about his name because his name spells S-E-A-N, right?
Yes.
In my country, a big number of people still call him Sean Connery.
Yes. A lot of people make that mistake. It's a Gaelic translation and spelling.
Okay.
Sean.
Sean.
That was a name that my mother wanted to call me when I was born,
Oh, really?
but my father said no.
Okay. Is it because of the spelling?
I don't know. I don't know. Maybe he didn't like the name.
Okay. And your name is Kenneth William Trainer.
Yeah.
And
My
is
father's
this-
name is William.
Okay.
My grandfather's name was William.
Okay.
My great grandfather's name was William.
Oh, wow. So William 1, William 2, William 3.
Yes.
Your father was William 3.
Yes.
Okay. So why are you not William?
I think they wanted to put William in somewhere, but not necessarily in the front.
Okay.
So
So
it's still there.
it's still there.
Yeah.
But you're not William 4.
No.
Had you been on the throne, they might call you William
Yeah,
4.
William the Fourth. Yes.
William the Fourth.
That would be good.
That would be good.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. So you were born in
Scotland.
Scotland, exactly where?
On
Glasgow?
the west coast of Scotland, near Glasgow, about 25 miles west of
Okay.
Glasgow, on the coast,
On the coast,
seaside.
seaside.
Yeah.
So it's miles, not kilometers.
Yeah, miles. We don't do in the UK, not yet. I know everyone, many countries change to metric and
Yeah.
meters and kilometers and grams and
Yeah,
kilograms.
yeah. So
In
you
the
are
U-
still in miles,
In the UK, we're still on miles and inches
inches.
and pounds and ounces,
Okay, okay.
like that. Yeah.
Okay. So how is the city? Are you still there? Like, is your house is still there?
Yeah.
In the same neighborhood?
Yes. It's a very convenient spot because if you like the beach side and the quiet and it's beach and country, but then if you want to go to the city, it's 25 miles away, so you can go up there for the day, shopping or for a meal.
25 miles away means 65, 70 kilometers almost.
Maybe, I think,
More or less?
less.
Less than that.
About 40,
40. Okay.
possibly.
Okay,
yeah.
possibly. Okay.
So you go up there you make a day out, you could go shopping, go to see a show, restaurant, museums, very, very
Okay,
good.
everything is nearby.
Yeah.
Nearby.
But then if you want the peace and quiet, you come back to home.
Back to home.
Yeah.
Okay. So do you still have the same property that your parents have?
No. I
Okay.
bought my own property.
You bought your own?
Yeah.
Okay. What happened to your parents' property?
Well, my sister bought my parents' property.
Okay.
And now she's sold it.
She also sold it.
You know.
She must have got a new one, a better one.
She has a new one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Tell me that about your parents, like were they very rich
No,
or average?
not very rich. My mother was adopted
Okay.
as a baby, and they came from a very big family, and very working class, very, I would say, poor.
Okay.
My father also from a very big family, also working class, poor family.
Okay.
So my mother's family were mostly factory workers.
Okay.
My father's family were mostly miners.
Okay.
So it was mining and factory. That kind
Both
of
are
like-
very tough jobs, of course.
Yeah, and both of them I think left school around
And
there.
we are talking about early 20s, 1920s and 1930s at that
Yeah.
time. And then coming to 60s.
Yeah,
You must have born in 50s or 60s? 60s.
late 50s.
Late 50s. So that time. And
Yeah. But they left school at age 13 or 14.
okay.
So they had no formal education or
Education,
qualifications or anything like that.
And were they very much after you to do your education?
They focused on education, but their main focus to myself and my sister. They never pushed anything to be a
Okay.
footballer or a doctor or anything like that. The only thing they said to me and my sister was, all we want for you is to be happy. If you're happy climbing trees, climb trees. If
Good.
you're happy driving a bus, drive a bus.
Oh,
If you're happy being an astronaut,
be an
Yeah.
astronaut.
So they didn't want to say, I would like you to be an engineer, I would like you to be a lawyer. They just said, we would like you to be happy,
Okay.
whatever that is.
Okay. So how was it living in the family and growing up in the house and
It was very good. It was good because we had no concept of poverty or middle class or upper class.
Okay.
So I think all children in any family when they're growing up, whether it's poor, middle or upper class, that's normal. So
Yes.
you think everyone's the same as you,
yes.
and then you go out to school maybe, or
Only then you
and then you
realize.
say, oh, what they've got, they live in a big house and their father's a doctor, or they live in a even smaller house than
And
you.
they come in a bigger car or a
Yeah, yeah,
smaller
like
car or a
that.
newer car.
And then you see that then everyone doesn't live the same like you,
Yeah.
like that.
Only the school gives this concept.
Yeah, that's the first time.
Because the
you-
neighborhood is almost the same.
Yeah, everyone's the same in that neighborhood.
Almost the same.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah, yeah.
Okay. And do you remember doing any odd jobs as a
Everything.
student?
As a student, yeah. Well, even from home, from childhood,
Okay.
our parents would not make us, encourage us.
Okay.
If after the cooking to wash up
Oh.
and dry the dishes,
Fine.
and maybe they would give us a small money like 200 base or something like that, or we make our bed, we tidy our room. When my father came home from work on a Friday, all he wanted to do was go out with his friends, so he
Yes.
would ask me or my sister, who wants to iron my shirt, so that he can get, and he would give us like 500 base.
Oh.
So my sister and I used to fight
I'll
to
do
get
that.
the iron so we can get some. And then I dug the garden I wanted new shoes. So they said if you dig the garden in our new house, because it was like a new build, so
Okay.
the garden wasn't established.
Okay.
So I had to dig the front garden and the back garden, and I got a pair of shoes.
Oh.
And I also delivered milk while I was in school
Oh.
to all the houses.
What
which was
time?
that was like 4 o'clock in the morning, 4:30 in the morning.
My God. And 4:30 is way too darker in your country.
Yeah. And also in the winter, it was also very, very cold.
Oh, oh, oh.
And at that time, milk used to come in bottles,
Yes.
glass.
Glass bottles.
So if you imagine freezing temperature with a glass bottle, and to hold it with your, sometimes your fingers would stick
Oh my
to
God.
the bottle with the cold.
Oh.
So you had to do that for 2 hours.
And do you remember how much were you earning?
Peanuts.
Oh, can
Peanuts.
you equal it with Omani
Maybe
Riyal?
now maybe about 1 Riyal 1.5 real a week.
A week.
A week.
So almost 5 real per month
Yeah,
for 2 hours every day,
yeah.
including weekends.
Not the weekend.
Not
On
the
the weekend, I delivered newspapers.
Oh,
So that was another job. So you had to go to the newsagent,
uh-huh.
take or whatever kind of paper the people in the neighborhood wanted, and then you would deliver them.
Did you always remember who to give which
Yeah.
paper?
Yes.
Okay.
And that the good thing about that was on the Friday, you would collect the money from the papers, and sometimes they would give you like 200 a base a tip. And
Okay.
So you made more from the tips than from the from the pay.
Oh,
So that was good.
that was good.
And then my uncle also had an ice cream van, and I worked in that.
Oh, fine.
But mostly that was not for money, that was for sweets and ice cream.
And the ice cream.
So that was good. Yeah, that was like childhood, odd jobs. I think it's a good thing. I thank my parents for doing that. They were just, I think, showing us you don't get anything for nothing.
And were you allowed to use that money on your own?
Yes,
Okay.
we put it in a bank.
Okay.
Then put your money in, and then you could buy. I don't know what we would buy as teenagers. We would buy maybe records,
Okay.
or the
Music
new, the
records.
latest kind of shoes, or a nice T-shirt, or
Okay.
things like that. So
It
that
it
good.
must be fun.
It was fun. And it's a good education.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know many schools that teach that kind of
Yes.
work ethic and even budgeting and things like that, and just to know that nothing's free
Okay.
in your life.
And do you remember how old were you when you were delivering milk and
Yeah.
newspaper?
13, 14.
13, 14.
Yeah. I would do that, and then I would come home and shower and then go to school.
Oh. And did you have a bicycle to do the newspaper thing, or on foot?
Foot.
On foot.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So we used to go to school on the bus, school
Okay.
bus.
School bus.
I can't, the money's so, it was 2 old pennies, which is probably about 5 besa to go to there and come back. So it was a long time ago.
A long time ago, a long time. Can you imagine doing it now
No,
in Scotland?
no, no.
How much may it cost now?
Now it would cost you, oh my God, it would be at least 1 real, 1.5 real.
5 besa and then 1,000 besa.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
if real is
Yeah.
1,000 besa.
Yeah.
Oh.
So that's how we used to go up and down to school.
Okay. Do you remember any other incident or any accident for this odd jobs?
No, not.
Any job you took that you did not like, but you took it anyway because you wanted to do something? If you want to share.
Well, I
something.
didn't really want to do the milk or the paper.
Okay.
But my parents encouraged me. I'm glad they encouraged me.
Oh.
But at the time, I was like, at 4 o'clock in the morning, I wanted to sleep. I didn't want to get into minus 10 degrees with glass milk bottles and things.
Yes,
But
yeah.
I appreciate that it was a good thing to do.
A good thing.
I don't remember any accident. The only accident I remember as a child, my mother had one of her kidneys removed.
Oh,
So she went to hospital, and I stayed with a neighbour.
okay.
And the neighbour had an older boy. I was 5,
Oh,
and the older boy was maybe 11 or 12. So he had a bicycle with the bar in the
Okay.
middle, and he would sit on the seat, and I would sit on the bar.
oh my
And
God.
he would, so which was mostly fun. But one time we were coming down a hill like this, and the bike tipped,
Tipped.
and
Oh.
I went on my face on the ground like this.
Oh.
So then, when my mother came out of hospital, she saw this just
All
like,
bruises
oh
and
my
my
God,
God.
what happened? Like that. So that was,
Oh.
but we had a laugh about it. That was quite fun. But that was an accident.
That was an
Yes.
accident.
Yeah.
Okay. Did you have any fear that your school fellows will learn about it, that you're delivering milk, or
No, because many of them
You
did
were-
the same thing.
they were doing the same
Yeah, it was a common thing.
common thing?
Yeah, yeah, I no, yeah.
So what
no.
time were you going to bed at that time, like in those days?
In the evening time, on a school night, I think we would go to bed at 7:30,
Oh my God.
and on the weekend we
Because
could stay
waking up
later.
at 4 o'clock will be difficult if you want to sleep earlier.
I can
Yeah.
remember my parents' room was here, and my room was here, and then I could hear. That was my wake up.
Oh.
Time to. I'm like, no. But I did. I did it.
Okay, your sister. So you have
Sister?
only one sister?
Yes.
Okay, she's older than you, younger than you?
Younger, 1 year and 10 months younger.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Because the way you have been sharing about your sister, it seems that she's your second mother.
She is like a second mother.
And she's younger than you.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
But I think we had a good relationship growing up. And then when you get to teenagers, you want to become more self-identified.
Yes.
And then maybe there's a little bit of a clashy thing there for a few years, but now we're very close.
Okay.
Like
Because there were 3 instances, and I remember, like once it was COVID vaccination, then your mother, and then your surgery. And it was your sister who was most concerned about you.
Yes.
And you were concerned that when she knows anything about it, what will happen. And
yeah, because I think, I always say, I say to my friends at home, if I was here when my parents were alive, if I had 2 broken legs and 2 broken arms and I was calling them, I would never tell them, because there's nothing they can do, you know, and it will get better.
Yeah.
So instead of making them worry or concerned or panicky or anything like that, I would. When everything's finished, okay, I can say it. Yeah.
My concept is a little different. Like I went in SQU hospital for heart attack in 2015, and when they declared it's a heart attack, and I have to go through this angioplasty, and then I was hiding it from my parents in Pakistan. Then I realized that this is the right time I need their prayers. This is the right time I need them to connect to Allah for me.
Yes.
So I called my parents, told my mom to tell my father, because my father was wearing hearing aids, and he couldn't hear it with the telephone. So my mom told her, and then told me that he's crying, but I needed their prayers.
Of course.
And then I realized that this is not something that I should hide.
No.
If it is there, it is there.
Yeah.
So my concept is a little different about it.
Yeah.
Because I learned that who can pray for you the best?
Yeah.
Either your parents, your wife and kids.
Yeah. The family.
So they are the
family
closest
members.
people who can pray the best for you.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yes. Yeah.
So did she go to the same school with you?
No, we both went to separate primary schools. She was less academic than me, but still she was okay. And then when we went to secondary school, we were in the same school.
So were you playing Big Brother in the secondary school, protecting her,
No, I was
looking
trying
after
to
her?
avoid her. I thought,
Okay.
I see her every day in the home. Why I don't need to see her all day in school and then all day at home?
No, there are certain brothers who are overprotective.
Yeah, I mean, if someone in the playground was to threaten her or bully or I would be there for sure.
Okay.
But I wasn't going around the school every day
Just to
looking
keep
for her.
Okay, that's fine. And how did the school go?
School?
So you went to a primary school?
Yeah.
And then you had to change the school to the secondary?
Yeah.
Okay. How was the primary school?
Primary school was fantastic, although the first day I was crying.
Okay.
And the first day, my mom, I remember ever telling me a lie. She took me and my neighbour's daughter, the 2 mothers came with me and the neighbour's daughter. And then we were like, what's happening? This is our first day in the school. And what is a school? And what happens in a school? And who will be there?
Yes.
And so we were nervous. And then my mom and her friend said, no, we're just going for a coffee. We'll come back in 10 minutes.
And?
Hello, like 3 hours later. So after the first day, it was okay because only because it was the unknown. It's like for every child's first day in school.
Yeah, I saw a picture on Facebook last night, and I saw that it was a father pushing 3 kids in the bus, school bus. Okay, and the tagline said, like, parents always post the pictures of the first day, but they never post the second day picture.
No.
Second day school.
No,
Okay.
never. It's
It
always
was
the
never
first
there.
day. Always the first day.
Happy kids going to school. Okay. What about the second day when they have returned from the first day?
Yeah, and they don't want to go back.
They don't want to go back. They know the
what's going to
reality.
happen.
Yes.
It's true. Yeah.
Okay.
No, I enjoy my primary school.
So primary school went until grade 5
No.
or 4.
Until the age of 11 or 12. What is that?
It must be 4. Oh, no, it must be 5 or 6. Either 5 or 6.
I think, yeah.
Yeah, because my son is in.
We go up to grade 7 in primary.
Ah, okay.
And then we go up to the secondary.
Okay.
Like that.
As metric system, kilometers and miles.
Yeah.
So there is a primary school, elementary school, higher secondary school.
Yeah, they have different.
And then
middle school even. They
middle
have.
school, I don't know.
Yeah.
Why can't they just
I know, it should be universal.
universal,
Yeah,
like universal charger?
exactly. It should be. It should have the same system.
Terminologies at least,
Yeah.
like give the same name.
Well, it's different because even when I started teaching in the Middle East, our notebooks we called jotters
Okay.
because you would jot down
Jotters.
things. You would jot down.
And here
And
notebooks.
so in my first lesson in Kuwait, I said that take your jotters out, and they were like, "Huh?
I don't
What
have
is
a daughter.
What is a
I'm
jotter?
not married.
A jotter. I said, a jotter. What you write? You jot down things. He said, no. A notebook. I went, okay.
Yeah.
A notebook.
In my country, in my school days, we used to call it copy.
Yeah. There's a copybook.
Copy.
Yeah.
Only copy.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
Okay. No notebook.
Yeah.
No jotters. Copy.
Yeah. Everyone has a different. Yeah.
Yeah.
And even like homerooms, we don't have homerooms in Scotland. We have registration classes.
Okay.
So you register in the morning with your registration teacher.
We used to call class teacher.
Yeah.
Class teacher,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
that's it. And first lesson is always class teacher's lesson, and registration, attendance will be there.
all
Everything
of
will be
that
there.
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Same for us. Yeah.
So until grade 7, you were in the school. Do you remember anything about the primary school? Any activity you did? Any stage performance? Anything?
Yes.
Competition? Any match? Any sports?
Well, we had. I remember the school meals, which were fantastic,
Oh.
and I remember we had a concert, a musical concert for parents, and I was a puppet master, and there's a song called Puppet on a String.
Okay.
And so we had the dinner tables upright,
Okay.
and we had a desk behind the table.
tables.
So there was 4 of us, there was 4
Okay.
desks, 4 tables upright,
Okay.
and 4 desks behind, and then there were 4 girls dressed as puppets in front.
Okay. And you were
So
standing.
we were standing on the desk and making the
strings.
look like we
Puppets
were
are-
working
oh,
the puppets.
Wonderful
like
idea.
that. It was quite nice. It was a good thing to
We
do.
can try it here.
You could.
Yeah.
It's nice and easy.
Yes.
And it's effective. It looked good.
Very, very, very interesting
And the
idea.
parents were quite happy. They were pleased with
Yeah.
that. Yeah. It was good.
And how did it go? Like people recognize you afterwards as well
Yes.
with the puppet master's name?
Yeah. The people, because it was quite a small school, anything you did, if you scored the winning goal at the football,
Yeah.
or if you got a medal for reading, or if you did something concert, people knew. It's like, oh yeah, I saw you. Da, 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 da.
We call it world famous.
Yes.
So you were world famous in your school.
World famous in that
In that
very
school.
small area.
In
Yes.
that is what.
Yes.
Area. Good.
Yeah. So I enjoyed it very much.
Okay. So moving to secondary school.
No, I didn't.
How was the
enjoy it.
first day?
I didn't enjoy it
Okay.
because coming from a small primary, I don't know, maybe how many children were there? Less than 300,
Okay. And secondary?
1,500.
Oh.
So, and the thing about that was, when we went to the secondary school, we all had to be separated. So there was nobody from my class in primary
Oh, in the same.
who was in the
class.
same class in secondary.
Oh.
And it was the same for all of us. We were all separated based on your family name. It was alphabetical, like If
And
you
not
were-
about your result?
No.
Oh.
So
Oh.
that was quite traumatic.
So you
actually.
must be in the middle section because it's K.
No, T, my family name Trainer. So
And
we
the
were
last
down-
sections.
Yeah.
How many sections were there in grade 7?
Well, we had 4.
Was
there
it
were-
grade 7 or 8?
It was grade, well, we call it first year,
First year.
which was probably
First
grade
year
7.
secondary.
Yeah.
Okay.
So there were 4 houses. There was like A to E,
Okay.
and then there was like F to N, and then N to P, and then
Okay.
Q to Z.
So you were in the Z
last,
part.
yeah.
Last one. How many students were there in each class?
Around 22-ish, like
That.
yeah.
Do you remember any friends from the primary?
From primary, do I have any friends from primary? I remember them, but I've lost touch because now we're all over the world. Most
Yeah.
of us are not.
They might connect with you through this.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you know
I
their
would
names?
Well, I know everyone. I think from my primary school. There was Linda Clark, Fiona McClelland, Gordon Finney, Alec Gaetano, Hamish Curry, Edward McQueen, Carol Brown.
Good many,
so
good many.
so yeah. Elspeth
Okay.
Kasky.
Okay.
Is another one. Yeah.
Okay. In secondary, tell me any activities. How did you do? Like, were you academic? Were you getting A grades all the time? How was it going?
The opposite of primary. Primary, I was either first or second in the class
Okay.
every year.
Every year.
So, and that was a nice thing because our teacher she was the wife of the local bank manager.
Oh.
And if we were first or second or in the top 3, she would take us to the bookstore, the local bookstore, and we could pick a book for being first or second or third, like that. So
very good.
that got me into books and reading. So that when I went to secondary, it was so traumatic, like losing all my friends in a school for 1,500 students versus 200 to 300.
Oh my God.
I'm like, for the first year, I didn't even know
What to do
where
and
to
where
go,
to be.
what to do, and I was so lost,
Yes.
and so my interest in academics just went down.
So what were you doing all the year? Being scared? Nervous?
Yeah.
That's it?
Yeah. And just not enjoying it at all. And then coming up to
Next year.
GCSEs and O levels and things. I think I did okay, but not great.
Okay.
I wasn't interested anymore.
Okay.
It wasn't fun anymore. I don't know why. Maybe.
Any stage activity?
Did we do anything in the stage wise there? Theatrical?
No.
I can't even think of a single.
Okay. Any sports?
Sports we
Were
did.
you part of any sports? Were you
We
fond
did.
of any sports?
I wasn't part of a team, but we had swimming, we had golf. I did horse riding.
Okay.
That was my after school club.
We are not going to tell this to Nolan.
No.
No.
So that was the thing I chose that I really liked, but I was the smallest in the group,
Okay.
and they put me on the biggest horse. So I looked like the size of a pea on this great big, but I remember his name was Cookie.
Oh.
So that was
Interesting
nice.
name.
I liked that. That was a good thing to do. But the only thing was I'm allergic to the horse fur.
Okay.
So my eyes used to but even my mom and dad said, don't go because you know what's going to happen. You're going to get watery eyes, red
Yeah.
eyes, and this. I said, no, I like it. So I went and came back with the red runny eyes.
How about wearing,
Goggles.
swimming goggles
Yeah, that could have helped.
for horse riding?
That could have helped. I think that would have been a possibility. But that was one thing I really enjoyed in secondary.
Good.
Yeah.
And did you make any friends in secondary?
Yeah, we had friends. Eventually, not easily in the first year, but
Okay.
after that, I had some good friends. Yeah. And we used to hang out together after school. So we had a friendship group. But that took some time after that big separation to get that back together.
So GCE and O-level took you, now you're about 17 years or 18?
No, you do that when you're 16.
16, okay.
Yeah.
16, okay. So anything, like you went to any other city, lived somewhere else for concert or any excursion or any charity?
We used to do a sponsored walk.
Okay.
We did a 20-kilometer sponsor walk, 10 kilometers one way and 10 kilometers another. And we had it was
Mr. Wim was here, run.
Similar to that.
Okay, the wave marathon.
Yeah. So we had a sheet from the school, and if I came to your home and said, Mr. Tabish, I'm running or walking 20 kilometers, can you sponsor me like 10 besa per mile or something like that? And then we would, the teacher would sign that we did it, and then we would bring the money back to the school.
And the money will go to the school?
Charity. Some charity. I forget now what charity.
Okay.
Maybe I think it was an orphanage or something like that.
Okay.
Like that. So that was a good thing to do.
Good.
Yeah.
Any other sports you don't remember?
Well, we did swimming.
Okay.
We did horse riding. We did golf. We did.
How about driving cars?
No.
Cycling was okay.
Cycling okay, but driving no.
You never drove until 16?
No, I never even drove until I was getting up to the 80s, 20 something.
Oh, way too late. Okay. Do you remember any, after O-levels, did you continue the education for A-levels? No. You took a break. Was that a planned break, or you just dropped out?
I just wanted to drop out.
Okay.
The year before my O-levels, I had an auntie and uncle and cousins in England.
Okay.
And they asked for my summer holiday, do I want to come there and work in a supermarket?
Okay.
For some good money. Some good money, I'm talking about 8 reals now.
Per week?
At that time, yeah.
8 reals per week.
And I was 15 years old, so I got to do a daily job for the whole of that summer. Then after leaving...
Was that compulsory?
No, that was, I wanted to.
Okay, you wanted to do it.
I wanted to get out.
Because I heard that different countries have different system, like where teenagers have to do some summer jobs.
Some people,
Some countries are following it.
Yeah.
Okay, then.
But that was a choice. Then I left school, I thought, what do I want to do?
Did you go to England then?
Yes, I did went to England.
Okay, how long did you stay?
I only stayed there for that summer holiday, and then I came back to finish school. Then when I left school, I thought I don't want to stay, because I travelled only a short distance to England from Scotland. I wanted also to go out and see more.
Yes.
So I thought, what can I do? What kind of job can I do where I could travel and get accommodation? And then I thought, like, hotel industry.
Yes.
If they need a waiter or chef or something, they give you a job, they give you accommodation. So I thought, I'm going to try that. So I tried that.
Okay.
It was good. So
Where was it? The first one?
First one was in Scotland.
Okay.
And my last one was in Amsterdam in Holland.
Oh!
So I started in the kitchen as a commie chef, helping the big chef.
Okay.
And then I went into the restaurant. Then I went into the coffee shop. Then it was interesting because you were moving around. It wasn't like I would stay for 6 months.
So do you remember your first job, like in Scotland, in the hotel?
Yes.
So you were straight in the kitchen?
Yes. Okay. And the salary for that was £6.5 real.
Per week? Yeah. Okay.
But I think...
And they gave you a place to live?
Yeah, all the staff had accommodation.
Okay.
And you had your meals, of course. So that... Yeah. I know it's 6.5, that was
But with meal and accommodation, it might make 15 or 20 per week?
That 6.5 was in your pocket. You don't need to spend anything.
You need to spend. Yeah, you don't need to spend.
And that was the first bank account I opened up.
Oh, good.
Because of that first paying job.
Are you maintaining it still? Or you just lost it?
I still have a bank account, but not the same.
Not that one.
Not that one.
Not that one.
No.
Okay. And you continued working in that first one?
I worked there maybe for a season, like 6 months. A lot of like hotel resorts or whatever, they're seasonal, maybe for the summer or winter. like that. And then I went to London and worked in a hotel there. And then I went over to Amsterdam and I worked in a hotel there. And then I came back home. And then I decided I was offered a job or an opportunity to work in a drawing office, an architect's drawing office.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
So I did that for a short time as well.
Okay.
And then I thought I need to do something more concrete. But I was enjoying doing it.
How was like in my country? It's not very common, like letting children go away for jobs and even for studies.
Yeah.
Okay, but there are now the trends are changing. Okay, how was it like for your parents letting you go at the age of 15 to different cities?
Well, at 15, I was going to family, so I wasn't going to a strange house or anything like that. Then afterwards, no, so long as I was happy and I was okay and I kept in touch, called in, everything's fine, la 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 la.
Were you asked to pay something back to the family, or keep the money with yourself?
Keep it. If there were times at home with the family, then I would pay
and spend something.
Like I don't know. I had a job in a butcher's.
Oh.
Me and one of my school friends.
Okay.
We tried that, and I don't know what that was.
Interesting. Very interesting.
So we had that was maybe 10 real, so that was an increase. So maybe I would give 5 real to my parents.
Okay.
And 5, like that.
Oh, fine.
Something like that.
Very interesting childhood you had.
Lots of
so many
jobs.
Experiences.
Yeah.
Okay. How about like since we are language teachers, and how was your experience going to England with your Scottish accent and Scottish language?
It's fine because
you worked in the supermarket.
Yeah, but I modified my accent to be easily understood.
Okay.
Or I'm slowing down and being.
You slowed down when you came to GCC, these countries?
Or any country outside of Scotland.
Okay.
I have friends from Scotland who do not change or adapt, and they think, well, I'm Scottish, this is the way I speak, so everyone should understand.
How would you speak, like?
Really, very, very quickly, and they would.
How? Can you demonstrate?
I would just say, like, gonna geese that thing out there.
Oh my God.
Like that. Which is just like, can you please give me that thing over there?
Oh my God.
So it's like, it can be a different language, but I mean, I went to South Africa with some friends, and Scottish friends, and this one friend, he would not
change or slow down.
No, and absolutely. People want to talk to you and even this summer holiday, one of my best friends from nearly 40 years, we were in a hotel and in the lounge, and there was a lady from South Africa, and myself and my Scottish friend. My Scottish friend's accent is very broad. Oh. So he would be asking the South African lady something, with just polite conversation.
Yes.
And then she would say to me, I don't understand what your friend says. And then I would have to say.
So you were a translator, translating English to English.
Yeah, and then she would speak to him, and he would say, I don't understand what she's saying. So I had to translate. If he spoke to her, I had to tell her what he was saying. If she spoke to him, I had to tell him what she was saying.
Wow.
Like, so yeah.
Okay.
It's easier. Slow down, be clearer, and you don't have to. I think I did maybe try initially when I was very young, just to go out and speak normally, and then I got fed up with people saying, pardon? Excuse me?
Yeah.
So I thought, no. Just slow down a little bit and speak more clearly.
How was Holland? No English over there, no Scottish?
No, but fortunately, English is a common language in Holland, so it wasn't really such an obstacle. Okay. And most of the hotels or the
international,
very international, and even the guests would be from all over the world, and the most common language would be English for some reason.
Okay. Yeah. When was it, or how old were you when you left the continent for the first time?
It was 1976, so I was 17.
You were 17 in 76.
Yeah.
I wasn't born then.
I know.
I was born a year after. Okay, where did you go?
That's when I went to Holland.
Okay.
To Holland and Amsterdam.
But Holland is still in the European continent.
Yeah, it's still in Europe.
But England is called false Europe.
Yeah.
UK is called false Europe, and that is the real Europe.
They call that the continent.
Yeah, yeah.
The European continent.
European continent.
So that was good. That was an adventure. I went there with friends. I worked at the Hilton Hotel in Amsterdam.
And there was no euro. Did you have any visa problem?
No, there was no euro, no visa problem.
Visa problem.
They used the currency there were guilders.
Guilders.
And one thing that I still remember very clearly, for blind people,
yes.
you know, we have a 1 note, a 5 note,
yes.
a 10 note.
Yes.
They had something on the page. On
yeah,
the paper,
the dots.
The dot.
The dots.
So you
thing,
know if it's a 1 or a 5 or a 10.
Okay.
I thought, how clever that's.
They had it in the currency?
Really real.
Oh, wow.
I thought that was real. I haven't seen it anywhere else in the world.
Oh.
And that was like, what, 50 years ago? More than.
When did you go to America for the first time?
About, how long have I been here? 4 years. Only about 7 years ago.
7 years ago,
Yeah.
very recently.
Yeah.
Okay. So what happened after Holland?
Holland.
You came back to Scotland for a while and then...
Then I went to the Channel Islands near France
Okay.
with another friend. And we stayed there, I think, for 2 or 3 years.
Okay.
I started off working in a hotel restaurant and I finished there working in a bank. So I don't know how that happened, but it happened.
Okay.
So that was good. That
So
was a nice
were
time.
you a teller in the bank?
No, it was a merchant bank.
Okay.
What I would do like reconciliations
Oh.
with different currencies like Swiss
Okay.
francs, German
Okay.
Deutschmarks, like this. You
And
had
it was
to-
a coastal city, so much
yeah, you
business
had-
was happening.
Well, it's Jersey is part of the UK, but it's close to France.
Okay.
But they don't have the same tax. It's a tax-free
Oh.
island.
Okay.
So a lot of people are putting money into that. But trying to reconcile, you know, I had a calculator with like 8 zeros on it when you were trying to like do like this, and you had to go like from the Australia, New Zealand bank, USB, Swiss bank, this, and you're like that. And it could take you sometimes a week to reconcile all of those different
Oh my God.
foreign currency accounts. But it was fun, it was interesting.
So how were you traveling? Were you traveling by air to this island and to Holland and France or
To
wherever?
Holland
Or
by bus and ferry. That
ferry?
was- yeah.
So did you enjoy the ferry trip?
Yeah, it was only 5 real.
Yeah. But the distance?
Distance, I had to come from Scotland to the port in the south of England and then across the North Sea to Holland for 5 real. It was quite-
About, how much was the distance? A lot from here? Or less or more? More, in 5 real,
Yeah,
in those days.
yeah.
Okay.
There was a company there. They went to Istanbul. They went everywhere. They were called Magic Bus,
Okay.
and the prices were just crazy.
Oh,
You could go all over Europe for less than 10 real.
in those days.
Yeah.
How much would it be nowadays?
Oh my God, a lot of
100
yeah,
or less?
100 or more.
100 or more.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it was good. It was. I think the traveling thing is good because you meet so many people, different nationalities. They have different cultures. They have different customs. They have different habits. They have different manners. Maybe I loved that. It was just fantastic.
How did you end up doing these hotel jobs, restaurant jobs, bank job, and then into charity jobs in African countries?
Yeah, well, a woman came to speak in our youth group from South Africa. And she was a famous person on South African television.
Okay.
But she was a kind lady, and she worked in poor townships, and the way South Africa was with the white people stayed here, black people stayed here, colour.
Okay.
So she was mostly working with these poor people in townships with maybe no electricity, no running water, no flushing toilet. And she was looking for people to come and help her. And I thought,
Okay.
that would be a good thing. Another adventure.
Oh.
So I decided to do that, and I went with a couple of friends, and we were dropped in the middle of nowhere to help to build a primary health care centre and look after babies and go to feeding programs.
Oh.
And that took us from there to, that was in South Africa, then it took us to Mozambique, to Zimbabwe, to Malawi, and all of these different things. And that was unsalaried. There was that.
And how old are you at this time?
At time probably
20s?
Yeah.
20s.
Yeah.
Still young.
Yes.
And you are still young, of course.
Yeah, in my mind I'm still young.
And there was no objection from parents. Where are you going? Where is South Africa? Where is this African?
Well, it's even like being here in the Middle East. If you haven't been in the Middle East, some of my friends at home say, is it safe? Because most news that makes the news headlines is bad news.
Yes,
whether it's Pakistan or the Middle East or South Africa or Northern Ireland, for example.
Yes.
And all of these places are generally safe places.
Safe places.
But you will get the occasional
bad
bomb
news.
or fire or some flooding or
bad news highlighted.
So then your parents are thinking, oh, South Africa, very but dangerous. Nothing like that at all.
Did you face language barriers while moving around in African countries?
Because I like to learn. At least I always try to learn. How are you? Good morning, good afternoon, please, thank you, how much, how do I, and I like talking like
greetings at least.
And I think it's a courtesy thing as well.
Yes.
You know, we have people coming into the United Kingdom.
Yes.
And sometimes they won't learn to speak English, and many British people, not including me, they'll say, well, they come over here and they don't integrate and they don't mix and they don't, but a lot of English people are guilty of the same thing.
Yes.
They'll go to another country and they expect, wherever it could be, Timbuktu or Azerbaijan, they expect everyone to speak English because you're in another country, another culture, so you try.
You know, during the summer break I was in Pakistan, so I had a chance to interview one of the greatest teachers trainer of our time, Mr. Abbas Hussain. And he went to England for some scholarship, and I spoke to him about this element especially, like how it goes, and when you are in England, do what. Okay, so we talked about it. Okay, and he had a very good point about it. Like some of my friends were saying that some parts of England looks like South Asia or looks like mini Pakistan or thing. And why don't they adapt to UK culture? And then my point of view was like, when they came to our places, did they adapt to our culture or our language? No. So Mr. Abbas Hussain said this is not the right time, or it's too late to take a revenge on them like this.
No, but still to do, they do the same.
They still do the same.
I work with people overseas from the UK, and what do? Not all, many of them. They want to find out who's from the United Kingdom in that area, and they want to hang out and become friends with that. I don't. If I want to be with the UK people, I will be in where should I be? In the United Kingdom.
Yes.
So I don't understand people who want they want to travel and go overseas, and then the first thing they want to find out is who's from England and who is.
Oh my God.
I'm like, no, I'm not. If I meet someone from the UK as a nice person,
it's a nice thing.
Okay, but I'm not going looking
for them.
No, I don't come to the Middle East.
I remember in South Asia, especially, I don't know about the rest of the countries, that during the colonial period, they used to make cantonments for themselves, special security, and walled colonies. Okay, living over there. We still have that culture in a different form, but it is still there. We couldn't abolish that culture yet.
No, it's ingrained heavily in that society. I know. I disagree with it. I'm not happy about it.
So you stayed in African countries for about 5?
5 years.
5 years.
Yeah.
And
That's what.
and you were not paid for those 5 years.
No, no,
so how
no.
were you surviving those 5 years?
Sometimes the church that I was part of would send some, and sometimes.
So this charity, this program was through a church.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Catholic or Protestant?
Not Christian.
Christian church. Okay.
Yeah. So like that, and it was just that. That was.
Is that a third church?
No.
A Christian church?
No. It's just a church.
It's just a church. Okay.
But that's what made me think about teaching. Because I spent that time taking trucks, 20-ton trucks of food, clothing, medicine, building materials to poor people in different parts of southern Africa. And then I'm thinking, you know, that's really nice. But then the next day the truck disappears, what are they going to do? And then I thought, you know, if you can educate,
Yes.
then they can have at least a small chance that they don't need this big truck every 2 months.
Teaching them
to
how
come.
to fish rather
Yeah.
than giving them
It's
a
like
fish.
the
Yes.
saying, don't give a man a fish, give him a fishing rod.
Yeah.
The fish will feed the family for one day,
Yeah.
but the fishing rod.
Can feed him
Can
all
continuously
life.
feed
Yes,
them.
yes, yes.
So then I thought, okay, teaching like that, teaching's the way out of that poverty. I don't know where that came from, it just came in my head.
Yeah.
So I went back to Scotland and went back to school aged 36.
Oh my God. And after about 15 or 16 years,
Yeah.
last time you were in school when you were 15,
Yeah.
okay, and
So
36,
Yeah.
it's almost 20 years
Yeah.
or more than.
Yes.
But wait, stay back in
Yeah.
the African countries.
Yeah.
How was the food? How was the residence? How was the...
Amazing.
Okay.
The most satisfying, happy time ever. And a lot of people don't understand, or they say, isn't it sad to see lots and lots of poor people and they don't have any food or little clothing or medicine? These people are some of the happiest people I've seen in my whole life. And then I see people in Western, more affluent societies. They'll complain about everything.
Okay.
They'll complain about their house, their car, their wife, their husband, their children, their school. These people with nothing. They had smiles from the ear to ear.
Oh my God.
And it did teach me a lesson as well. Like when I would come back, one time I came back from Mozambique, very, very poor. And there was on the border, there was a small shop with a cold store with yogurt and butter and cheese and milk. And I was like that. And my friend was shaking me, he said, what is it? And I'm like, look, because I hadn't seen that for 6 months, like that. So, and then going back to like a regular home and flicking a switch and a light coming on.
Everything is there.
And then you turn a tap and water comes out.
Coming.
And you're like, and then even today I don't forget that.
Oh.
Because, I mean, so many of people in the West, they have
everything
more than they need.
Yes.
And these people have no more than they need.
There's a joke going on nowadays. If the West returns what they took from African and Asian or poor countries, what is left with them?
Yeah.
What is left with them?
Yeah.
Especially the British Museum, they were talking
Yeah.
the jokes nowadays.
No, but it's true.
Yes.
It's true that they have a terrible reputation across the globe, in South America, in Asia, in India, in Africa. You know, the horrible atrocities that they carried out. I mean, it's absolutely
Even
nothing
today,
to be proud
some of these countries' economy depends on their colony in African countries.
You know?
Some people were talking about recently about France.
Yeah.
And things are not that good. Do you remember missing food living in Africa?
No.
Like you didn't have anything to eat or water or shower?
Well, sometimes I didn't know what I was eating because the families in these poor areas without electricity, or they would cook by a stove, but I was the only white person there, and so most people knew me, but I didn't know everyone else.
Yes.
And they would invite me to come and eat with them, which was polite and kind. But I don't know most of the time what I was eating, because it was like by candlelight and very, very dark. So whatever they were eating, I was eating.
Okay.
So it was fine by me. It was okay.
Any time that you were starving during this 5 years? That you were in a very far away place and nothing was available or something? Got trapped somewhere?
No, we didn't
Stranded.
have any. We had a couple of vehicle mishaps, like if you're travelling up from South Africa through Zimbabwe to Malawi, I think we broke down twice in the middle of nowhere. So you have to wait, maybe you can wait like half a day for another vehicle to come along.
Oh my God.
So, but that was only twice in 5 years.
Okay.
And it got sorted.
And when you finished your excursion of 5 years, did you still have those friends who joined you first time?
No.
How many were still there? Only you. So you got new people on and on.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I think it's not for everyone.
Yeah.
It's just, I don't mean, if you would like to do it, I found it deeply rewarding and satisfying and pleasing and something worthwhile, something that I can never forget. Just a special. I don't know how many people have had that opportunity, and I think it's a privilege to be able to do something like that, really.
So you returned by the age of 36 you are now, and you enrolled in a school.
I had to go back. I had to get qualifications to go to university.
University, and it was A-level school.
Yes.
And what did you study?
I studied. Well, we have something called modern studies, which is outside of the UK. They call it social studies.
Okay.
But modern studies, it can be political, and so I did that with geography and history. No, not geography. Modern studies, history, and English.
And English. And you were the youngest in A-levels?
I was the oldest.
Oldest, okay. Who was the youngest? Like, can you imagine?
I think the youngest was like mid-teens.
Okay, 15 or 16. And you were 36.
Yeah.
How was it?
Fantastic.
Like, did they enjoy you? Did they think that you were their teacher first time?
No, they were quite very sociable.
Okay.
Well, I think we were all in one group. It wasn't really an age thing or.
So were you hanging out with the students or with the teachers?
Both.
Because the teachers must be your age or younger than you.
Yeah, one of my teachers, well, they were all really good. But he used to be a postman. And then he had a change of career to the teaching, and he was also from the similar background to me, from a working class, poor, like that, and I could relate to him. And then I had a fantastic history teacher. It was her last year of teaching when she was teaching me. She had never had a television. She only listened to the radio, but she knew everything about everything history. She was that was great. And then my English teachers, who I loved. And then after I went up to university and became a teacher, I would go back to visit them and see and share with them what was happening with that. So that was a really, really good time.
So your A-level was 1 year, 2 years?
1.
1 year?
Yeah.
Okay. And you passed with A-stars?
Yes.
All 3 A-stars?
Yes.
What happened? Like one of your result was not good?
Yeah, my English, that was a shock.
Okay.
Because my English was good. I'm not saying I'm perfect English, but I was always A star. And so when the brown envelope came with the results and I opened it and it said C, I went, no.
That's not me.
So I very quickly got showered and changed and straight to the college to show my English teachers. They're like, no, that's not possible.
Okay.
So they appealed, and on the appeal it was made up to the A star.
Can you imagine from C to A star?
Yeah.
Not even B or A?
No.
Or were they scared of you?
I don't know what they thought.
Okay, just satisfy him.
But it nearly stopped me going into university because they wanted those 3 A's. And if I did like 2 A's and a C, I couldn't go to that university.
So what?
It nearly stopped me to go there.
So which university it was?
Strathclyde University. Strathclyde is famous for the man who invented television,
Oh,
John Logie Bird.
okay.
So that was his. He wasn't there at the same time as me. That was a few hundred years before.
He invented television a few hundreds ago.
Yeah. But in one of the main entrances in the
Yeah.
university, there's a statue
Okay.
of John Logie Bird.
Okay.
So that was a fantastic university. I studied it. In your first year, you take 5 subjects because how many people are 100% sure?
Yes.
So I did modern history, politics, English, sociology. I forget the other one I did. Anyway, so when you go into your second year, you narrow it down to 2.
Okay.
So then in second year I took English and politics. Because
Okay.
by the first year I know those are the 2 I like.
Yes, yes,
And
yes.
because I knew I wanted to teach,
Yes.
even at
So
college.
you were getting your graduation. It was the 2 years graduation or 4?
No, 4.
4 years.
Yeah.
So you, from the second year onwards, you continued with the 2 subjects.
Yes.
Okay.
And
So
then
English was English language, linguistics, or
everything,
literature?
the whole shebang.
Everything.
English, mostly literature.
Mostly literature.
Mostly literature and a little bit of language.
Okay. Do you remember reading anything particular that you haven't heard of or haven't read before?
Yes, there's a poem. Now I'm going to forget the man's. Spencer is the poet. This is how shocking this was to me in one of my first English poetry lectures. They said, now we're going to give you a poem. You need to go to the bookshop and buy it, the university bookshop. Now I'm looking for a book like this thing.
Yes.
It's that thick.
Spencer's one. Which one is
The
that?
Fairy Queen.
Fairy Queen. We read. We
I'm
studied
like,
it.
a poem? Yes. I'm like, no.
I remember it in my literature
you see
class.
that,
We
you're
had
like-
the Spencer's.
And then
Fairy
you do Milton's Paradise Lost.
Paradise
and all
Lost.
of those things.
Yeah.
It was very good. I mean, for somebody who likes to engage and chat and talk
Yeah.
and question
And Prometheus
and
Unbound.
both of those, the politics
Yeah.
thing was all talk and the English thing was all talk. Because you would read a poem or a novel or a play and then in your tutorials talk about it and agree and disagree and why it was good and why.
Yeah.
So I loved
I
it.
remember like one of most favorite I enjoyed, Ode to Intimacy by Robert Browning. I really enjoyed it. And I remember reading it to my father and explaining him. Then I remember the conversation even now.
Yeah.
That we were talking about this poem, of course, during my master's years.
Yes.
And I really missed that conversation.
Yeah. I mean, there's so much to talk about
Yes.
in one piece of one poem, one novel, one
Yes.
drama. Drama was part. The English units I did were language and literature, drama, and journalism. So
Journalism.
those are
also.
the 3 units that made up my English degree.
Okay.
So that was really good. We would go to the theatre, have people from radio coming and sharing different things like that.
I was amazed when I learned that there are more playwright than Shakespeare only.
Yeah, I know.
When I learned about university wits and this Christopher Marlowe and the rest of the people, I said, really? Do they also?
I know. Because
they
all you
also-
hear in high school is Shakespeare.
All Shakespeare. Like, he's popular.
Of course.
Of course, he's popular for good reason, but he's over popular than the rest of the people.
Yeah. I know there's an overbalance on
Yes.
Shakespeare.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I really enjoy. And so you finish your
Finished my degree
graduation.
and my friends, I had some friends who were teachers and they said, you need to do your honours degree an extra year. By this time I was 39.
39 already.
And I said, well, why do I need my honours? They said, no, it will increase your promotion opportunities. It will increase your salary opportunities. So then I went to the teacher training university
Okay.
and I shared that. I had the same discussion
Conversation.
with the mentor there and the tutor. He said, you are ready now.
Oh, good.
You are ready now. He said, I can fill this course with first class honours students, and they will not be able to teach. He said, you are ready. Your degree and your life experience, now do it. And they took me on there. And within half a year, I hadn't completed my teacher training and I was offered a job.
Teacher training is PGCE?
Yes,
okay.
Postgrad.
Okay.
Yeah, postgrad.
And you had started working already?
Well,
how was your first day, first job?
Well, you do your lectures in university and then you have teaching practice, TP.
Yes.
So your first teaching practice, I'm scared. So they send you to the school and you introduce yourself to who's the teacher who will mentor you. And the first one, I was doing the modern studies, and the lady said, she was a nice lady, she said, I hope you've got an equity card. An equity card is the actors union.
Okay.
So if you want to act in the UK on stage, you need to be a member of Equity. She said, I hope you're a member of Equity. I went, huh? She said, no, because when you're standing there, you're like a sheet of glass to those students. And if they see fear or nerves or you're not sure, she said, whatever's happening in your heart, you can't show anything like that.
Yes.
Anyway, I enjoyed working with her. She was quite strict, and then when they came out to see from the university to do the observation, I got straight A's all the time for that. So I was happy with that, and they were sad when I said that I was leaving the UK. They said, no, we need teachers like you. We need the good teachers in the UK. Don't leave. And I was like, no, I want to. Leave.
I remember doing a CELTA in 2016, and I did it here from Polyglot Darset, Vataya, in fact. And we had these British teachers. I don't remember exactly where, but British. Miss Haider, such a wonderful lady she was, such very nice teacher she was. Miss Karima, who was also organizing all the CELTA course. They were very, very good. And Miss Karima was the strictest of all I've ever experienced. Like even after getting married and already being teaching of so many years, and 2016, she's my teacher and she was being so strict. And I was really me, and I'm already about 38 right now, and oh my God. But it helped me a lot. And that was intensive. So it finished within 1 month, and I'm so grateful to those teachers, both of them, and that now I feel that my teaching is more effortless. I'm more organized, planned, and I have a vision how to teach and what to do. Previously, I was so shaky about my profession ever until my CELTA, that whether I would continue it or not or something like that. But after the CELTA, I got confident. No, I'm good here.
And all you need.
And it was their efforts.
Yeah, I was going to say, if you have a couple of inspirational teachers, they really spur you on and think, yes, I want to do this. I'm going to do it like that. It's fantastic.
Yeah, it was fantastic. We believe in in English American movies, we hear the term good cop and bad cop, right? So we had that concept in that during that course. Miss Karima was very strict. Miss Haider was very humble, very polite, very interesting.
But it's a good combination.
It was.
No, it works.
Very good combination.
It does. It works.
It worked very well.
Yeah.
Anyway, so how was it when you went to teach in a regular class, a school class? You went to teach first time?
Yeah. During your training, your postgrad.
Ever you stood there as a teacher first time?
Oh yeah, it was fantastic.
How was the?
I loved it.
Okay. How did you start and how did it go?
Well, obviously the lecture period in the university prepares you to go into do your practice in a school in front of children. So I had my lesson plan. I had a video. I was doing the politics of poverty.
Okay. You still
so
remember
I had and I had a video to show the kids, and I had a worksheet for them to work on. And I could go around and I could do questions and answers. And obviously my tutor, who was a fantastic man, he was there at the back going tick, tick. And then afterwards they sit you down and they go through this, you did this. And then my next one was the English, for my English appraisal from university. So that was good. But 5 minutes before the lesson there was a fire alarm.
Okay.
But it didn't.
Was that a true alarm or drill?
It was a true one.
It was a drill. Okay.
So it didn't really. It was only 5 minutes to go to the lesson. I thought, thank God it didn't start like in the first 5 minutes.
Yeah.
So they had enough to see that I was doing what I was supposed to do.
Yeah.
So that was good, and then graduate from there.
And where was your first job out of the country? Kuwait. Kuwait was the first job after. Okay. Yeah. How did you get that job? You applied through? I
was looking through. If you're in education or teaching, there's a Times Educational Supplement, TES, and it's got overseas jobs. And I used to, while I was studying to become a teacher, I would look through it like a travel brochure. Like English teacher Hong Kong, English teacher Spain, English teacher.
Because you always wanted to travel.
Yeah. Yeah. And so I sent off 10, 15 CVs to there, and one came from Kuwait. And I thought, I didn't know very much about Kuwait.
Okay.
And then they said, come down to London for an interview.
They were there?
And I went there and they said, we would like to offer you a job. And I was only halfway through my teacher training.
Oh.
It was exactly halfway through.
Okay.
And when because my mentor for my English, in the English teaching part of this, he said, do you want to work in the UK? And I went, no. And I told him about the interview and he said, go for it.
Go for it.
He said, even if you don't get that job, he said it's interview experience.
Itself is very good, yes.
And then when I went back and I told him I got the job, he went, good, I'm happy because I know that you want to move out of the UK. But when I landed in Kuwait in August 2000...
But you were already used to of the hot weather in African countries.
Yes, but not Middle East hot.
So Middle East hot is a different level of hotness.
Well, when the airport doors opened in August 2000 in Kuwait, it was like a wall of fire.
Oh my God.
I felt like I was walking into a pizza oven.
Oh my God.
And I thought, I will never be able to work and stay and live in this country. And I was there for 13 years.
Oh.
So, yeah.
Inside the pizza oven.
Yes. And then I got used to it.
Yes.
And now it's like, even this summer holiday back home, there were heat warnings. And my friends are like, oh, it's... And I was in one of my friends' gardens, my sister and some of her friends. And I had my jeans on and my t-shirt, and they were like shorts, and they were looking at me saying, are you not hot? I'm like, no.
No.
And they were like,
yes. I remember reading such news while I was in Pakistan, and I was following the Twitter, and I realized that you must be having something over there. We were facing the rain. Yes. I thought you were facing this heat wave.
Well, it was lovely because I think in all of the time I was there, we had like two and a half days of rain.
Okay,
and
only.
Normally it's the opposite. It's 2.5 days of sunshine. So this summer, the weather was fantastic. It was really, really good.
So Kuwait, 13 years.
Yeah.
How did it go? Just like that? Was that so easy? Do you remember?
No, it was the most difficult adapting culture-wise, because I had never been in that Middle Eastern culture. So most of it was all new to me, and different expectations, different customs.
And it was mainly because of the religion for the first time.
Yes.
Because in Africa you never encountered
I think it was like the first
Muslims.
Islamic country.
First Islamic country you traveled to.
Yeah. So, I mean, but even then it wasn't like, oh, I don't like this or I disagree with that. I was like, no, Tell me.
Tell me
Show
what is
me.
it? Yes.
What's this? I would even ask the students things about what happens at your family, your mum and dad. Can they say this and can they do that? Are you
Yes.
allowed to do this and blah 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 blah. So that was good.
So you stayed in one place all these 13 years, or you
I was in 3 schools.
in 13 years?
Yes.
Okay.
So yeah, I was in the Kuwait International English School.
Okay.
Then I was in the New English School.
Okay.
And then I was in the Gulf English School.
Okay.
And then one of my friends, who was from South Africa but working in Kuwait, came to Oman.
Okay.
And he was having a birthday in Oman.
He invited you
And he invited me to come to Oman from Kuwait.
for the birthday.
And when I came for the birthday, I went, whoa, yes, I want to come here. I want to come.
What made you think that?
I don't know, it was more free, it was more open, I don't know, it was more...
In what way? Are they not almost the same, GCC countries? No?
No.
Okay.
No.
How is it different? Now that you are in Oman for about 9 years, right? How is
very
it
different? Because there's a very strict religious
regulations and practices?
element
Okay, in it. Quite.
in every sort of area. Here I know opposite us there's a mosque,
Yes.
and 5 times a day I still hear
Yes.
the call to prayer.
Yes.
But I don't feel that kind
Oppressed.
of like I have to like look out and nothing like that.
Oh.
I found the same in Bahrain. Bahrain is also, I remember sitting on the street terrace outside a bar in Bahrain, and opposite they were doing like Bahraini cultural dancing and music. So it was like
No problem with each
so
other.
there's a bar which is
Yes.
generally not allowed,
For Muslims.
and then opposite there they were playing their music and dance traditional. So they were side by side,
In harmony.
and I could never see that in Kuwait.
Oh, okay.
But when I came to Oman, I could see, yes, it's an Islamic country. Yes, there are certain regulations and customs that we need to...
But not too strict?
Yeah. I mean, I can do...
Do you remember any unpleasant incident in Kuwait that made you feel nervous or made you regret while you're here?
Not really.
Not really.
Not really.
But they were always paying you well, better than
the
UK,
salary was fantastic.
and accommodation and all the other
Yeah.
facilities were very good. And what were you driving in Kuwait? I'm concerned.
Driving a big Chrysler.
Chrysler.
Big...
SUV or saloon?
Saloon.
Just like Mr. Avis?
Saloon. My friends told me, when you're driving in Kuwait, it's another story.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
so they said you need protection at the front and the back.
No, that's why you got a bigger car.
Yes.
Oh God,
So
oh God.
I got that. So
Oh
that was
God.
okay. But I mean, driving in Kuwait is not you do not drive in Kuwait for pleasure,
Oh my God.
which is a difference here. You can drive here all day, every day for pleasure.
Yes, yes.
You know, there's so many places to see.
Recently
and
you've
visit.
been to Duqm and it was all
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, fantastic.
Yeah.
But you would never say to your friends or family in Kuwait, let's go for a drive.
No.
No.
Oh my God.
No,
Really?
really, really not. No.
Very interesting.
No.
Okay, so first time when you came in Oman, after the birthday party,
I went back to Kuwait
and then
and
applied
started writing CVs.
series
To this one, to this one, to this
Okay.
one, and it took me a year
that
to
you
get
got a
into
call
the
from
Sultan
Sultan
School.
School.
Well, in Kuwait, before that happened, I had 3 contracts for schools in Kuwait,
To sign.
and I had 24 hours to sign one of them.
Oh.
So that 24 hours before, I went with my boss friend from my head of English department
Yes.
and her husband and her children. We went swimming to the beach at the Hilton Resort. And then I went to change to my swimming clothes, and I got a phone call saying, is that Kenneth Trainer? This is the Sultan School. in Oman. Are you still interested in the position? I went, yes.
Yes.
And they said, okay, can you come down? And I went, yes. And then when I got back, my friend who was the head of her husband and the children were like, I was smiling. They goes, why are you happy like that? I said, no, while I was in changing to come and swim, the Sultan School phoned and said, Joe, am I interested in the job? Can I come down? I was like that. And they were so happy for me because they thought they knew I'd been trying
of course.
for a year
They knew
to try
that.
and get there. So that was a good thing.
And that was 2012 or 13?
13. Yeah.
That's a coincidence. 2013 is the same year I got in Ahmad bin Majid. And Ahmad bin Majid and Sultan School are side by side.
Yes, that's
okay.
right. Yeah.
And we were there together in 2013 at the same time, and we never met all these years.
I know.
And
we were neighbors.
We were neighbors.
Yeah.
So much so that from Ahmad bin Majid classrooms, while the students were working, I used to look through these windows. The Sultan School, you know, those teachers' accommodation area was visible.
And things,
villas were visible. So we were always in the neighbors.
Yeah, I know.
Ever since.
Yes.
Okay, that's interesting. So you stayed in Sultan School for about 8 years. 6 years. 6 years.
Yeah.
And you moved here to ABQ Seeb International?
Yes.
2020.
20. Yeah.
20.
Yeah.
Because I joined here 21.
Yeah.
We came a year earlier.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how was Sultan School all these years?
I had a happy time there. I enjoyed it. I made some very good friends there. I had a good relationship with the parents, most of the students. But I wanted something, another challenge, another change. And I just...
6 years are a good many years.
Yeah. So I came here.
And that was also the time from 13 onwards that Oman had this NOC implemented on the expatriate.
Yeah, requirement
to
change jobs.
Yeah, and it was not
and
that
employers.
easy. And it just eased up in 2020 onwards.
Yeah, that's true.
And that's the time you moved out, and that's the time I started researching as well.
Yeah. But the biggest positive I think I got from the Sultan School was doing the Model United Nations and being able to take the students overseas to the Netherlands, to Qatar, to New York, things like that. So that was my...
And you continued that program in ABQC as well?
I did that in the first year.
In the first year, and then the COVID
came.
Oh my God.
So we just like to see what lies
You went
ahead.
to the United Nations as well?
Yeah, inside
in
the General Assembly.
Okay.
Where Barack spoke, where Kofi Annan spoke, where... I mean, it's a fantastic...
Where Qaddafi spoke, where Bush...
All of them. And then if you think back to the beginning when we started talking, and you see that my family background from poorly educated parents,
and then standing
poverty,
in United Nations,
and then you're standing in there and you have to pinch yourself, is this really, really happening? So I mean, that's quite a journey from that sort of humble, poor beginnings. Obviously, we're not rich and famous. We're teachers. There's no rich and famous teachers, but it's quite some way away from that, from those early days. Yeah. So life's a journey.
Yeah. So Sultan School gave you those opportunities.
Yeah.
You went to UN from Sultan School or ABQ International?
From Sultan School.
From Sultan School.
Yeah.
Okay. So Sultan School, do you know? You must be in contact with those friends over there?
Yeah.
So can you name any? Some?
My friends from there, yes.
Yes.
Carl, Bev, Maya.
Are they still here in one?
Some of them. Some of them are.
Yes.
And some of them I visited in the summer in the UK. Who had gone back.
You visited them, yes.
Steve, Diana, Anne. I mean, when I took my ABQ students to a Model United Nations conference in the first year I was here, I was saying hi to all, and even the students from there were saying hi, come to my classroom.
Everybody knew you already.
So that was nice.
Of course.
It's nice to have that.
Yes.
You can still go and have that
Yes.
positive relationship.
Yes. How did you join this ABQ, Seeb International?
Well, I came and I thought, well, I was looking for something different and new, and they asked me to come for an interview. They had a chat with me, and within 24 hours they offered me.
And we have a British principal at that time, Miss Natalia.
Yeah. No, it was Melvin.
Melvin. Okay.
He was, yeah.
I haven't met him, but I heard about him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I mean, it was like quick.
And you came and you joined.
Yeah.
And who was the faculty members at that time? In English department
English
especially?
department, it was Bronwyn, head of English,
Tini.
both South African.
I know them from the, Google Drive. Most of the documents are named after them.
Yeah.
Yes.
Then we had Doha.
Yes.
She was with us in English. Then myself. Then Tracy.
And wonderful.
Yeah.
A wonderful teacher.
Yeah.
A wonderful colleague.
Yes.
Yes.
So yeah, it was a good department, but that was.
Who was your HOD at that time? Bronwyn.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that lasted a year, and then she left, and then they asked me.
Any chance that they left, those two left because you joined? Oh my God.
I would hate to think so, but I think they were. I know that Bronwyn was headhunted from the UK.
Okay.
Because there was another teacher here before I came.
Okay.
Who was friendly with her, and he went to the United Kingdom, and then he said, "I've got a job here. Do you want it?" That's why she left.
Oh.
And Teenie, I think, left because she was going to have a baby.
Okay.
And Doha left because her contract wasn't renewed.
Okay.
So yeah.
Okay. When I joined, Mr. Kenny joined 2 days after, and I had joined 2 days earlier. It was COVID time. It was partially lockdown going on, or different time slots were there.
Crazy.
So when I walked in at the reception, there was one more lady, Catherine. So we said hello, and then the receptionist, or maybe Ms. Fakhria, took us to conference room where Paul, Rohan, and Soumya were there. They welcomed us. Then I came to know that year in secondary they had hired only 2 teachers, Catherine and Tabish.
Yeah.
Okay. And then we got the introduction from them, and you won't believe like what I was carrying the first day. I was carrying my laptop bag, the usual one, and there was a box, a paper, paper rim box in my car, full of stationery, that I'm going to a new school, I'll be decorating my classes, I'll be doing this and that. I had no idea what was going to happen.
Yeah, you don't know.
And my bag was double the weight that it is normally. And I never opened it up on the first day. And then they told us, okay, this is your first day. We sat in the conference room most of the time, and then we had a walk in the Rohan and Soumya showed us around and showed us our classes. Earlier I was given BFC 18, and I thought, okay, and I couldn't figure out the map of this building. Where is this staircase?
It's difficult.
And you won't believe the first week I was always taking the stairs from the Suman's photocopy shop.
Wow.
And I never got this courage to discover that this staircase next to the lift also goes to the same floor. I was just so scared.
No, it takes some time because the school is a bit of a maze. You don't really know. It's crazy.
And then Paul, working with Paul was amazing.
Yeah, Paul
he joined afterwards, right?
Yes. Yeah. He joined the following year.
The following year. And who was the head, when you joined, head of secondary?
When I joined, the head of the secondary was Martin Prinsloo.
Martin Prinsloo.
And pastoral was Barney, who's coming back to
who's coming back as head of secondary now.
Yeah.
Martin Prinsloo is that name similar to Mr. Shalpin's
Yeah.
pillow?
But it's not. They're not related.
They are not related.
It's quite a common name in
Okay,
South Africa.
okay, okay.
Yeah, it's like Smith in England.
Okay,
Although it's unusual for us, for them it's not unusual.
okay, okay.
Yeah.
So how has it been, your time in ABQ Seeb
It's
International?
been good. It's challenging, but
The biggest challenge itself was the COVID, teaching online,
COVID
no
is a
students.
challenge, yeah. And then being asked to be HOD is a challenge. But the biggest plus for me in this school is the collaborative atmosphere with the teachers. We're, I don't know, 15, 16 different nationalities, maybe even more. And there's no schism, division, one is up and one is down and one is... I love that. The fact that from Simone in the photocopy room to the girls in reception to the whole thing is a unit.
A cohort.
And everyone is helpful and kind, and you know, if you needed something, people will help you. They won't run in the opposite direction like some places that you might work. Here
it's not my job. Don't tell me. It's not my responsibility.
That's for me.
That's not the culture.
That's the biggest plus about being in this school.
Yeah.
But obviously there are challenges, and there's no perfect school anywhere on the planet. If there is a perfect school, don't join it because you'll spoil it because you're not perfect. So
let's talk about your experiences working with Paul, Rohan, and Soumya. How was it working with Paul?
Some of the best, if not the best, SMT team I've worked with.
Wow.
I can't think of.
So we are hoping a better SMT next year, this October onwards.
I think
Soumya is continuing.
I think the Paul, Soumya, Rohan combination will be very difficult to beat.
Let's see. Let's hope.
I'm not saying it's impossible.
Yes.
But it will be difficult to beat.
Yes.
Yeah, because...
How would you say about Soumya?
Soumya is... I don't know how she does what she does. She's a wife, she's a mother, she has 2 sons, she's running a household, she's doing her academics, she's doing timetabling, she's dealing with parents. I don't know how many other things she's doing.
I don't know if I should say it or not. Yesterday I found her, I spoke to her, then she went back to the exam room. Then I realized that she had locked herself in the exam room just to make the timetable. She wants to focus.
Yeah.
And she's so over-occupied with all this time.
Well, everybody wants to know science, math, English, ICT, whatever. What about this? What about this? And she's running all over the place.
Something about Mr. Rohan.
Rohan was just like just so helpful and so big and kind.
And so big.
No, I don't mean big. I mean big-hearted.
Okay.
And he was also big.
Also big, of course.
I mean big and kind-hearted, and always had time for you, and always the same. He never changed. You didn't go in one day he was angry, and the next.
A wonderful thing about Rohan is he loves talking.
Yeah.
And he wants to explain everything.
Yes.
And sometimes he
In
just
detail.
keeps on talking on and on and on, and you're waiting for a pause, and you wouldn't find that he's taking many pauses.
But he's just like a wonderful,
he's a wonderful man.
Family man as well. I remember
he is a family man.
When we had the COVID and no travelling, and it was Christmas time, and that's a family time. So they kindly invited me to join them at that special time for us.
Wow.
Which was really, really nice. And I've also had 2 or more occasions to go and be part of that group and that family, which is a nice thing. So, I mean, yeah, again, they're going to be hard to beat.
2 more people.
Paul.
No. Amy.
Oh yeah, Amy.
Amy and her 2 kids.
Yeah,
those
they
who
were
used to hang around you. And
Amy,
her
I'm still in touch with them.
Of course.
Been chatting with Amy yesterday.
Okay.
And Stephen yesterday.
Okay.
Not the boys.
How are they?
They're good.
They're good.
They are good.
Stephen is in
Rangoon.
Rangoon.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah.
And Amy is in England.
Amy's in the UK.
Okay.
So yeah, they're.
And it was
really,
good
really
combination.
nice people.
Sometimes you were hanging together,
Yeah.
Amy and Bassam and Catherine.
That was good.
Tracy
fun.
wasn't here at that time.
Yeah.
She joined a little late. She was online on those days. Okay.
No, it's been very. I mean, the people and the collaborative way in which people work here is for me is a bonus.
One of your best friends.
in,
No, one of the two best friends.
in ABQ.
Yes, Mr. Awais.
Yeah, Mr. Wace.
You're always naughty and always having fun together and passing comments and jokes around.
Yes,
I really enjoy your conversation.
because I'm trying to get him to give us his room. Trying to make him like me enough to let go of his prize kingdom.
And the second best friend is Mr. Rizwan.
Yeah, Rizwan. I can have a good laugh and a joke
Yes, and food.
and food.
And food.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many. I can't think of. There's nobody I can say I don't like that person. Or
Okay,
I
yeah, of
wouldn't.
course, of course.
Really, because
You are such a kind-hearted person. I don't see you dislike people, or of course we have differences, and everybody has
I
working
don't
differences.
mean we don't all think the
Yes,
same, and
yes.
we don't all agree on everything.
Yes, but that doesn't mean that you hate them.
No,
It's
of
not
course.
that way. Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Okay. How about the current faculty members, Mr. Nolan and Ms. Jolie? You enjoy your time with them?
I enjoy. It's a challenge.
Challenging.
It's challenging and rewarding at the same time.
Yes.
Yeah.
Alhamdulillah.
Yes.
Okay. We are quite close to the end.
Yes.
How about your, I'm always interested.
Yeah.
I'm always interested. How was your first encounter or first meeting with first Pakistani?
My
And
first
where was it?
Pakistani
And
in
who
Scotland.
was- Okay, in Scotland. He came to meet you.
Yeah. No,
Okay.
well, they were friends. They had a shop beside our home. So we just used to use that every day, and maybe 4 times a day,
Okay.
7 days a week. So they were
Okay.
part of that community.
Okay.
So, I mean, that was another good thing, you know, because even though it was in Scotland,
Yeah.
one of my best friends was Indian.
Good.
The Pakistani family, and it was so friendly with the shop. They was, even if they weren't in the shop and they saw you in the town or outside, hi, how are you?
Yeah, they would come and greet you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like that. So, and then I also had a West Indian friend. Yeah, I think they're really fortunate.
How about working with Pakistanis? Have you ever worked with Pakistanis before?
Yes. Yeah, when I was in England, I was another missing part of the jigsaw. I was a trainee production manager in a garment factory.
Oh my God.
And one of the lady supervisors was from Karachi.
Oh, really?
So she was lovely. I forget her name. But just such a lovely, lovely woman. I can still see her face in my head. So that was nice. Yeah, I mean.
And how about working with Pakistani in the GCC countries?
Absolutely not a problem. I don't really
No,
have
not
any.
a problem. Like, how is the experience?
It was positive.
I'm working with you.
I know, it's positive. I can't think of anything. Mostly, I don't think I'm discriminatory in any way.
Yes, yes.
So I don't look at my colleagues or my
With
social
nationalities
network
or race.
and say he's South
Yes.
African, he's Indian,
Yes.
he's Pakistan, he's English.
Yeah.
I just see them as friends, as nice people, as good people, like that. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And how about if you were can you name the countries that you have been to and you really want to go now? You've been to South Africa, Mozambique, and all these, most of the African countries, right?
Not most. On the top, I've done Tunisia and Egypt.
Okay.
In the bottom, I've done South Africa, Zimbabwe, Mozambique, Malawi, Zanzibar.
Zanzibar, okay. In Europe, how many countries? France?
France,
Germany?
Holland, Germany, Italy, Belgium, Poland,
Russia?
Denmark,
No.
Greece,
Okay.
Italy.
You went to Italy twice. Okay. Central Asia?
Sri Lanka.
Turkmenistan. Sri Lanka is in
Sri Lanka,
Okay.
many times.
Many
One of my
times.
favorite
India?
countries. Not yet, but
Not yet.
coming soon.
Pakistan?
Not yet.
Is
Also-
it in the list?
Yes.
Okay.
Honestly, I want to
Okay.
see them.
Malaysia?
Not yet. America?
America? Canada?
Not yet. I want to do that one.
South America? Any country?
Not yet. I
Nothing.
want to do that. I mean, I need
China?
to. I need to live till I'm.
Far
100.
East and
Far East, Vietnam,
Vietnam you've been.
Thailand.
Thailand. Okay.
Like that. Yeah.
Okay.
There's so many places. I would need to live to 150 to make sure that I get to see all of the countries. I'm nearly 150 already.
Okay. Okay. Last question. Almost the last question. If you were not a teacher,
What would I do? I would probably go back to some charitable aid work.
and
I
would you
wouldn't-
change your degree? Would you change your master's or honors in something else?
No. I would quite happily go back to somewhere similar to Africa or Asia or South America where there was a need for some kind of assistance.
Like when you were in African countries, you decided to become a teacher. Was it the same thing you had decided when you were growing up
No,
as a teenager? So
Never.
you decided upon that.
only that charitable work made me think that's a good thing.
Since I was growing up, always thinking to become a media man, and I always thought about it. And it was the time that private televisions were emerging for the first time into 2021 onwards, and I always thought. And then I wanted to do my master's degree in journalism, and but my teacher guided me in Pakistan. I'm still in contact with him. I meet him, Irfan Ahmed Khan, and he's still my teacher. I still dedicate all my work to him, even this podcast and everything. Irfan Ahmed Khan. So he guided me through my friend Imran that I should do masters in literature, and who knows and how will it go. As I told you that I never got used to this teaching. Though I was doing very well, I was doing fine, but I took this job very seriously after CELTA.
Yeah, that's when it clicked.
Then it clicked that, okay, now I want to do this. I want to
yeah.
do this. And,
Yeah.
Okay, last, final last. Okay, marriage.
I'm happily unmarried. And I have.
Unmarried means you never married.
Yes.
Okay.
Never. So I have. My lifestyle I love. I'm extremely grateful to God and really blessed. I have a nice life. I'm not rich and famous and fabulously wealthy, but I can do most things that I would like. I can travel, I can eat well, I can dress well.
But you are, I know that you are a very good marriage counselor.
Yes, well, that's the other thing. That was my follow-up point. Because where I mean, I'm very independent, and so if I want to go to the airport tonight on a plane to Vietnam, I'll do it. I don't have to consider a partner, a wife, my children, my whatever. Now, many of my friends are married with children, some young and some grown up. And sometimes I think no family is exempt from challenges and problems. Where we find people, you find problems.
Yes.
So sometimes I get my married friends calling me because their son has said this, or their daughter did this, or the school phoned this, or my wife said this, or my husband didn't do this, or and I'm like, thank you very much. I don't have that same problem.
Okay.
So, but I mean, that's also a personal choice. I really don't believe that people should be saying, I'm a smoker, you must smoke. I'm married, you must get married.
Yeah.
I'm not
Yeah.
Don't drink. You must not drink.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you know, everyone is responsible for their own life
Yes.
before God. So
Yes.
and there's only one judge, and
Yes.
that's what I believe. So I can't judge anybody who eats
Since
too
you
much.
mentioned,
Yeah.
you've been in Gulf countries for about 20 years now, 13 over there, 9 over here,
Yeah.
more than 20.
23 years.
Yeah. Why not Islam?
I
Have
think
you ever thought of it? Anybody offered you?
I've
tried to teach you, tried to force you?
No, not forced. I mean, I've got about 20 Qurans in English.
Oh, wow.
A lot of my students' fathers, they would come to school and say, "Oh, my father asked me to give you this and this and this." So I've read much of it, not all of it.
Okay.
And I get the precepts, the concepts, and all of the things, much of which I agree with.
Yes.
And then, the main faiths in the world, they all have some common bond and
Yes.
unity.
Yes.
Obviously at the center is God or Allah. So, and then it's just your way in relating to Him through maybe your culture, your customs, your traditions and all the rest of it. I would never, I mean, I've got friends who are Muslim, I've got friends who are Christians, I've got friends who have no faith.
Yes, yes.
So, but I don't think, oh, you don't believe in God, so you can't be my friend.
No.
Or you're a Hindu and I don't like Hindus.
Yeah.
No.
No.
That I never, when I'm making friends with someone, I don't have a question. Are you a Muslim? Are you a Hindu?
Fill in this form,
Yeah.
and if you comply to all these requirements, only then you're my friend.
All I'm interested in, are you a good person?
Okay.
Are you a positive person
course,
to be in my
of
life?
course.
I don't care if you're Australian, Chinese, Russian,
Yes.
young, old, fat, thin.
Okay.
None.
We finish with listening something from you about Oman and Omanis. You already mentioned about Oman while comparing it with Kuwait.
Yeah.
How about Omani people? Your interaction with them in all these 9 years or more?
Fantastic. I've had the most fantastic help, welcome, and loyalty. You know, from day one when I came here, I still have my friends from 2013, my Omani friends.
Oh my God, wow, mashallah.
And if I need help, maybe like ministry or anything sort of bureaucratic, they will easily do it, and they will help, and they're friendly, and I find them to be very generous as well. Sometimes they'll come to my home and they'll say, "I brought you this," or "I brought you this," and that, without asking or anything like that.
Wow.
Or can I help? If I said, "Well, I need something," how can I help you to do that?
Wow,
They'll do like any little thing or a big thing.
Yeah.
I have never experienced any bad interaction with any Omani at all.
Wow, amazing.
None.
Same experience with me. I never encountered any unpleasant experience ever.
None.
And I'm so grateful that they have accommodated us here in this country.
Of course. We are guests here.
We are guests, but we live like it's our country.
Yeah, of course.
Nice being talking to you.
And you too.
Such a wonderful talk.
Yes.
Such a wonderful speak it was.
The speak.
The speak it was.
Oh, that's good.
And let's see, I'm going to post this one and see that what's the response is on YouTube.
If we get more than 2, you and me.
We will definitely get more.
We'll see.
We'll see.
That's good.
Okay.
Fantastic.
Nice
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I'm going to stop it now.
Hey, how long was that?
Let me see.